Hello, hello, everyone. Guess what today is? Today is Talk to Me Tuesday, where I share helpful networking tips to help you grow your business. Listen, I am so super excited to be here today. I've kind of missed a couple of Tuesdays, so guess what? We got to make up for what we've been missing. So I have an amazing guest. Oh my God, I can't wait to jump in. But before I jump in, I just want to introduce myself for those who are new listening to us. My name is Tandra Price. I serve as a networking strategist. I help entrepreneurs like yourself plug into the power of networking, but I'm also known as the networking ninja, a nickname gifted to me by my clients. So today is just going to be an amazing, just, you know what, let your hair down and let's just get talking. As a good friend of mine say, note takers are money makers. So I hope everybody got their notepad because listen, this Miss Lady I have the opportunity to be with me today is going to drop some gems. But before I kind of get started with that, you know what? I just want to kind of give a little history of how me and this beautiful lady met. She actually tuned into one of my Talk to Me Tuesdays on LinkedIn here. And I mean, we have been connected at the hip ever since. And, come to find out, we have some amazing other mutual friends in common. But this is what I'm talking about when we talk about the power of networking and making true connections. Listen, y'all in for a treat. So listen, I want to give you an opportunity, Donna, to introduce yourself, kind of give all the audience a little bit of how you got started, where you're at now, the amazing things that you're doing. And we're just going to just dive into some questions. Hey, thank you all for watching us and tuning in. So go ahead, Miss Donna. I am giving you the floor because you can better introduce yourself better than I can. Look, I'm already amazed and awed at you. I love your energy, your spirit. Oh, you know what? Wait a minute. I wanted to say one quick thing that what I really love about you is your why. And listen, y'all take this down. Her why is we are better, stronger, and more brilliant together. We get more done in unity, and we can transform more lives when we join forces and synchronize our superpowers. You know what? You're gonna have to talk about that superpowers because a lot of us don't think we got no superpowers, but we got some super duper powers. So go ahead, Miss Donna. Go ahead and hi everyone. Thank you for joining us. Go ahead and just let's just spill the tea. Go ahead.
Well, Tandra, first of all, what an honor, Queen Tandra, the networking ninja. What an honor to be, that's right, to be a guest on your impactful show. You are doing great things. And yes, you have some superpowers. Hi, everyone. I'm Donna Dean. Just honored to be here. A little bit about me. I started in the so-called game approximately 30 years ago. And I say 30, believe it or not, I got a son that's 30 years old. Don't try to do the math. It'll just confuse you. But nevertheless, I started my career journey about 30 years ago as a buyer for better women's designer clothing. Hence my passion for fashion. So traveled to New York many moons ago, buying clothes for a living. And shortly after I had my son, it was time for mama to slow down just a little bit. And so I was offered an opportunity as a business manager for the same retail chain on the East Coast, working as a business manager. And so hence my passion for business and finances and all that good stuff. And so that transitioned into a second career path for me, where I was able to transfer a lot of those skills into the hospitality and property management industry. And for about 10 years, took on a variety of sales leadership roles in the hospitality industry and helped companies merge other companies into the fold. And it was at that time that I really found my passion for people and culture development, and really found that that's where my superpowers were, not just my passion, but I really found that there was this God-given gift that was already deposited on the inside of me. So traveled through those sales leadership roles, and most recently landed with the Fortune 500 company by the name of Cisco Food Service as their director of training. And that was an incredible ride. Did a lot of great work there that included a huge global technological transformation that involved thousands of end users across the country.
Mhm.
So that was really exciting. And on a parallel timeline, believe it or not, I can't all do one thing. God says, hey, if I give you more than one gift, you're to use them all. Don't bury a one. So that would be me. But I grew up with a mama who was, a dancer, performing arts, corporate dad. And so hence my left, right brain creative and my other side of the brain being business. So on a parallel timeline, grew up as a professional dancer, model, choreographer, director of theater, and so on and so forth. So I always had to have two careers. So that morphed me into running my own entertainment company for 10 years, where I consulted for entertainers in the business, but also produced my own work. And most recently founded a coaching and consulting firm that helps companies and people prepare for the new work world through coaching, training, and mental health services. Now, here's where that why was really evolved, Tandra and your audience, in terms of we're better together. We are stronger together, and we are more brilliant when we synchronize our superpowers.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
I'm going to take a breather, but I had an opportunity to connect with a brilliant visionary by the name of Quentin Anderson. And I'm going to let you ask some questions. I want to take a breather and let you kind of roll in here. That hints.
Yes, yes. Listen, I can't wait to hear how you've made the amazing connection with Quentin. Listen, I want right now everyone to go out that is listening to me and listening to us on our broadcast. Go out and like Donna Dean right now. Become friends with her right now on LinkedIn. Listen, this lady is powerful. She's powerful and she has amazing connections. So that's what we're talking about, right? How do we elevate? How do we take our business to the next level? We have to make the right connections. So you know what? You wear many, many hats. You've done a lot to get you to here. I love the fact that you have entertainment that's a part of your background, which, listen, we always say that when we get ready to do our networking or make our presentation, it is like we're in entertainment. I mean, we are presenting. I mean, we are actually, putting ourselves, what do you want to call it, rehearsal, acting, or whatever to make, our stories come to life and to real, and that we don't have to always, I think one of the things about what we do in our business is when it comes to really making those connections, we're feeling like afraid or intimidated. But just look at what you've done. I mean, you went from this particular hat to this particular hat. You say, guess what? Now I'm starting my own thing. So listen, drop some questions. Thank you all for joining us. I just want to reset the room one more time. This is Talk to Me Tuesday, where we share helpful networking tips to help grow your business. And we have the amazing, phenomenal Donna Dean with us. Listen, if you have a question, drop it in the chat, because I see all you coming in, but drop it in the chat so we can make sure that we answer any type of questions that you have. Listen, this is a phenomenal lady. She can answer anything from the rooter to the tutor, okay? Any type of question you have in your business, because she's already shared with you the mass of information and experience that she's already have in her, even in the entertainment. Now, listen, being a part of entertainment, it takes multiple different layers of tiers, not only through networking, but also just through partnership with people. So, want to know how to get great partnerships? Miss Dean has it. Want to know how to network? Miss Dean has it, because that is listen, if all of you don't know about the entertainment industry, and building up your own entertainment industry is huge by itself. So that there was a lot of connections and things that had to take place in order to make that. So let me see here. We're talking about, we got some people spawning in. Love the title. Yes, yes, yes. We got some good morning, ladies. Thank you for the discussion. You know what, we're bringing it. So listen, and if you could do a quick favor for me as we are here, like, share, and comment on our post and share with other people. Listen, one of the things I talk about is being, I was on a platform the other day and we were talking about, I'm a part of this Sean Fair tour, and they asked me what my topic was. And I said, it's connecting versus collecting is the topic that I'm going to be presenting in Detroit. But one of the things we talked about is having information hoarders. Okay, let me go back so everybody understands what that means. Information hoarder means that either you're collecting a lot of information and not doing anything with it, or you have information that you actually could be sharing with others to help use your superpowers to help transformation in their lives and in their business. So there's two different types of that hoarder. So come on, yes, yes, come on with it. We like it, like it, like it. Thank you so much, Miss Lotus Richey. She is doing what we call our Wacky Wednesday. So listen, that's going to be what we're going to be talking about that tomorrow as well. But yes, so Donna, I just kind of wanted to drop those nuggets in. I love the fact that, give us before we kind of go on to this amazing partnership that you have, tell us some things that, that you may would have did different when you started your entertainment industry, that or maybe that you felt like was a little bit of challenge for you in your entertainment industry, because a lot of our listeners, listen, the front side of the story is pretty, but guess we got to tell you sometimes how we got to the backstory of the story, how we got to where we got to, because everybody has those juggles and struggles of what it takes to be in business. So can you share just a little bit of that with us, Donna?
Oh, I'd be happy to. My entertainment business was ignited and birthed from my passion. And one of the life lessons when you pursue a passion, as I'm sure a lot of you can relate to, is that it really requires a delicate balance. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that, and I'll give you my story, just a little clip of it, is I was really driven by my passion. I was really driven by a love of labor. And it was laborious, but I loved it, so it didn't feel like labor. Mm-hmm. So I went into this business adventure, owning my own entertainment company, from the lens of passion, from the lens of love. And that's what drove me. And I learned very quickly that you have to have a delicate balance between what you are driven by out of the lens of love and passion, and ensuring that your eye is on the prize in terms of the end result. You can't lose sight of the end result. The why is what drives you. The why is what keeps you ignited along the road, but you got to stay focused on the end target. So in my case, that was revenue, that was making money, that was ensuring that I hit a certain target. And so I lost hundreds of thousands of dollars because I made decisions purely out of a space and out of a lens of passion and of love. And I have to do it. And this is what I envision. And those of you that are visionaries understand exactly what I'm talking about. You have to surround yourself or have a person that balances that dreamer side of you.
Yes, yes. Say it. Wait a minute. Say it one more time for the people in the back. Say it one more time for the people.
You have to balance that dreamer side of you.
Yes.
You have to have someone that's in your court, that's in your corner, that's on your right and your left side, that's balancing you and that's keeping your dreamer side focused, target focused on the end result. And so those of you that are entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, mamapreneurs, and the like, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. And this is a huge topic, even in our Black businesses.
Yes, yes, it is.
Because so few of us, as we know, Tandra, even reach six figures. So few of us have sustainable legacy type businesses that are profitable over a lifetime, which is part of our initiative with blackowned.com. We'll get to that a little bit later on. But it shouldn't be that we are single digit in representation in that area. But a lot of it is because we know how to vision. We know how to cast vision. We know how to dream it. We know how to bring it into fruition.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yes.
But in terms of bringing that thing to a profitable level over a long period of time, that's the lesson. And it's one that I learned valuably. And I've taken those lessons into my newer business ventures in ensuring that that balance is there.
Oh, I love it. I love it because you know what? We talk about that so much, understanding the end result, making sure that, we're aligning, everything we're doing is in line with, our passion and our dreams and goal. And how do we get there? I mean, but, one of the things is I love the fact is that, you know what? You kept going. I always say the blessing is in the show up. That's my favorite thing. I got a t-shirt, a cup that says the blessings are in the show up. Because here's what happens is if we don't have the end result in mind, we can't get there.
Can't get there.
We can't get there. And that's important. I mean, like, just think about everything that's happened, thus far this, since, last year. And a lot of us had to transition into things. Like a lot of us we couldn't even dream anymore. We couldn't dream anymore. We didn't even have a dream because you know what? Everything was so packed with, now I've lost my job. I can't go into, corporate. And I mean, all these stuff start cluttering our mind to where, you know what, when we first very started coming out, even before we even got our 9-to-5 job, we had a dream of something that we wanted to do, something that we wanted to be. And somewhere along the line that got lost. But now because of everything transitioned and we had to come up with that A, B, or C plan, like no one knows where our dreams are anymore. But those that have those dreams, guess what? There has to be an end result. And leaders like Donna and us can, you know what? This is the circle. This is that sister circle that you got to be around. You know what she said? Did y'all hear? I hope somebody wrote that down. Please put it in the chat if you wrote it down. What did she say you had to surround yourself around? What did you have to be around? Who did you have to be around? To able to help you to elevate or ignite your superpowers. Because guess what? We can't be around nobody who's on the negative side. We can't be around those people that, the bench warmers is what I call it, just sitting there and letting everybody go by, but always have something to complain about. Those are not the type of people that we got to be around. That's going to elevate us and take us to the next level. Ooh, listen, I always say in my time, woo woo, woo woo, woo woo. Everybody say that.
Woo woo woo.
I'm super excited about your partnership with what you have with Mr. Quentin Anderson. So tell us a little bit about that. Now, listen, everybody, write it down, because she's going to drop it. So go ahead, Donna.
Write it down. Have your favorite pen, because what I'm about to share with you is representation of everything Tandra teaches about. It represents everything she stands for. It represents her signature. And so I met Quentin Anderson on LinkedIn.
Wait a minute.
That's the first nugget.
Yeah, that's the first nugget. Let me go back real quick. I hope everybody just wrote that down. I am a favorite fan of LinkedIn. I feel that if you want to actually make those connections, I'm not saying, I had this conversation earlier. People's like, I'm not doing LinkedIn. LinkedIn is not, listen, I'm not saying don't do any of your social media, but if you're trying to get to some business connections, some business decision makers, LinkedIn is where you need to be at. She gave you the first nugget. She tapped in to LinkedIn. Okay, go one. I'm writing mine down. LinkedIn.
So number one, and if you look at Tandra's curriculum, I think this is her curriculum brought to life. So number one, you got to be in the right place at the right time.
Say it for the people in the back. I'm gonna stop you each time you drop a nugget.
Come on,
people in the back, because you know what? A lot of people, when kind of get a little upset when you say, "Listen, you need to know where you're supposed to be at." We got to know where we're supposed to be at. Sometimes we ain't supposed to be at them spots. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, but I just had to.
No, you jump right on in here, because
okay,
you ignite my energy when I hear you talk. But you got to be in the right place at the right time. You got to be in position for the blessing. You got to be in position for the next step in your career. You got to be in position for the next step in your destiny. So you got to be in position and you got to be ready. So that's number one. And number two, you got to be really clear on what your business brand is. And that to me is what LinkedIn is all about. It really elevates and is a showcase of your business brand. Who are you? What do you stand for in terms of how you show up in business? And you got to be real clear on how you communicate that. So fast forward, I started to interact on LinkedIn with a gentleman by the name of Quentin Anderson. And everything that he represented, everything that he stood for, I wasn't sold, I was compelled. And I always say to people, don't try to sell me anything, compel me. Don't sell me, compel me.
Yes.
And I'm going to drop this nugget. Those of you that are selling your goods and your services, don't drop it in someone's DM and try to sell them
Oh, wait a
until
minute.
you have compelled them first.
Oh, what? I'm dropping the. I gotta drop it. We gotta stop right there. Let everybody. This is a marinated moment. You know why it ain't working for you? Miss Donna told you. Don't drop a DM and try to sell people something. They don't know you. You know what I'm saying? They don't know nothing about you. You know, this is relationship time building. This is where you get to know who the other person. Matter of fact, you know what? The person that you dropping that information, you may not even want them to be your business partner because you don't know anything about them. You know, we have to stop dropping that. We woo woo.
Woo woo.
Because that is so important. People always ask, well, what do I say? Can I put some information out there about what I do? If you go back and look at LinkedIn and just do a research of all the people that are putting stuff in there, see what kind of response that they're getting. See what kind of response they're getting when you just start dropping your business information, saying like, hey, you know what? Would you want to be a part of X, Y, and Z or come? That's not how you do it. That's not how you do it. Okay, Don, I have to talk about that because that's a huge thing when people come to, but I don't like the LinkedIn because I'm selling right off the gate. It's like what is it like? You didn't even get to hit the home run. You hitting what foul balls. Everything. You just striking out because you didn't do the proper steps. You just didn't do the proper steps. I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Chandra, this is everything you teach, everything you speak about, everything you stand for. And so, and I want to encourage everybody, even if you know the definition, look up the word compel.
Yes.
And ask yourself, am I compelling? Is what I'm doing, is what I'm saying, is what I stand for, is it compelling? Is it irresistible?
Drop it. Drop it.
Don't start talking until you've identified that. So fast forward, everything that I observed that the visionary Quentin Anderson was doing compelled me. It caused something to leap in my heart. So when you're compelling someone, you're pulling at their heartstrings. You're pulling at what truly matters to them. You're unpeeling the layers of the onion and you're getting to what really matters to that other human being. And that's what Quentin Anderson did for me. And so as a result of me being compelled by who he was and what he stood for and his great vision, it compelled me to reach out to him. And when I reached out to him, I shared how what he was doing, what he stood for, moved on my heart, what it meant to me. And that struck a conversation. And so we started.
Wait a minute. She said it struck a conversation. Did you see how that smoothly translated into the conversation? Because he did his research. He did what it took. He knew her pain points. Let's go there. He knew the pain points. He knew exactly who he needed to talk to based on the research that he did. So he was being able to make his conversation more compelling. So guess what? It was an easy flow. Do you know what? She's like, okay, I can see where we're going with this. Okay, go, keep going.
He didn't sell me. He compelled me.
Mm-hmm.
That struck a conversation, like striking a match. We started a conversation based on heartstring, vision string. And the conversation started with me commenting on how much it mattered and what it meant to me. And then the conversation flowed from there, and one conversation led to another, and to another, and to another, until we were both compelled to take the conversation from a DM LinkedIn text box to a phone call.
Please, no takers, money makers. She just gave you the whole transition. The whole transition. She Let me set the room again. Listen, you have entered into Talk to Me Tuesday, where we share helpful networking tips to help you grow your business. We are talking with the phenomenal Donna Dean. She has just laid out the step of compelling and how she ain't even got to the juice yet. Okay. But she didn't showed you how she took a contact from LinkedIn, or no, I don't want to say contact, a connection. Let me get that right. A connection from LinkedIn to where she's going to tell you the story. Woo woo.
Woo woo.
Woo woo. Oh, go right ahead
I
on.
love it.
I just
Tell
got
the story.
go ahead.
So we're still on chapter 1 of the story.
We keep going.
On a parallel timeline of us advancing the conversation from a text box to now a phone call, Sir Quentin created another post, and it was a specific post about the services and about a movement that had been ignited. And so I was further compelled, so much so that I took one giant leap forward and was compelled to share his post with my world of influence, share the good news. This is so good. I got to share it with everybody that I know. You have got to connect to what's happening here at blackowned.com. You have got to see what this great visionary is up to. This is a movement that's been ignited. And I shared that post and got tons of activity on the post, people chiming back and forth. Then now a conversation had ensued. And now we've got other people part of the conversation. Even before I had an initial phone call with Sir Quentin, the great visionary that I eventually joined forces with, we got other people on the movement bandwagon. So by the time I talked to Quentin, we were interacting with a conversation with a whole bunch of folks.
We got to stop, Don. I got to keep stopping you. Did y'all hear what she said? It led from, she shared it with her contacts. Okay? This movement was, she didn't keep it to herself. That's what we keep talking about. Didn't I say hoarder a minute ago? Either we're hoarding too much information that we ain't doing nothing with it, or we hoarding information that could be helpful to someone else. What did she do? It was too good to keep it to herself. So she shared it with her contacts. I just want to break it down to you guys. She shared it with her contacts. Her contacts was like, wow. So now it led to not just her having a conversation with Quentin, but it led to her, Quentin, and some other people. Whoa. That is juice. That is the juice. Do you see how she's bringing this out to folks? Keep going. I got to stop you every time because they have to
Please do.
The process of what we're doing. You have to understand the process of how this phenomenal partnership came to be, and the movement that they're making that is so strong. But she took it because let's just go over it. First, it was compelling. Okay. 2, it transitioned into a conversation that went from LinkedIn to offline to now a phone call. Okay. Then when she did that, it was so good, she ended up sharing it with her multiple contacts. Now let's go back. We're always saying, how do you help empower and share and promote other people? Guess what? She shared it with her contacts. And just because she's the influencer that she is, guess what? She knew that, you know what, her influence, no, she ain't bringing no mess. It's all going to be real. So she shared it with her influencers and they seen the vision. What did she say? They had to see the vision, where you're going. And then they connected in that says, listen, I got to be a part of that. So now it went from 2 people having a conversation to multiple people having conversation. Okay, there you go.
This
I mean,
is
I wanted
this
to.
is this is Tandra's class. I hope you're taking
No, because here's what I say, Donna. Every morning I wake up. You know what? We are students. Everybody, y'all hear me say that all the time. We're students, and Donna's our teacher today. Okay, Donna's the teacher today, and I'm just being the student, raising my hand, saying, "Ooh, ooh, 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 ooh." You know what I'm saying? But we always say, "How do you do it? How did that happen? How did you get there?" She is giving you step by step. Okay, students, you got to get your notepad. He's giving you step by step by step. To put in the chat and let me know that you got your notepad. Put in the chat, type in the chat, I got my notepad. Put in the chat, hey, I took those juicy nuggets down. Okay, go ahead.
I love this conversation. I don't even want it to end, Tandra. Commonality was forged. Heartstrings were pulled. Two visionaries started to connect. Many other people got on the bandwagon from my world of influencer, including several people from my entertainment circle. And I have a saying that you have to give something before you ask for something. And if it's okay with you, Tandra, I'm going to say that just one more time.
I need for you to say it 3 times. Let's say it 3 times, because you know what? We always saying, you know what? It ain't always, you know what? Please say it. Let's say, at least say it twice.
I'm listening to the Professor Tandra over here. You have to give something before you ask for something. And it has to be authentic. It has to be organic. It can't be contrived, or it can't be misfired based on your self-centered intentions. I want to make this sell, so I'm going to give something. No, because it's not going to come across authentic. People sniff that out in the heartbeat. It has to be truthfully from the heart. I really want to give something to this person. I really want to help this person. I really want to lift this visionary up. I really want to do my part to help ignite this movement. I'm not asking for anything in return. I'm not even expecting anything in return.
Woo!
This is just something I need to do. I'm
Yes.
compelled to do this. And when you do it from that lens, what you get back is 100-fold, not 10-fold. 100 times what you just given comes back to you. Give before you ask.
Yes.
So now the conversation ensues. And now I'm speaking live by phone to this great visionary, Quentin Anderson, blackowned.com CEO and founder. And as we talked and connected and shared vision and casted vision, it was almost as if we were completing one another's sentences. It was almost as if he had the left side of my heart and I had the right side of his, and he had the right side of my brain and he had. And all of a sudden I had this feeling, this intuitive thing, and I call it, that's like the voice of God speaking to me saying, this was supposed to happen. You were supposed to be right here having this conversation right now for such a time as this, because I was so compelled by what was happening. It was as if the Red Seas had parted, and all of a sudden things just started to
fall out.
And when things start to fall in place, when you're working so hard and you're pushing and you're pressing, and I'm all about battles, because a lot of what's happened to me has been birthed out of a battle.
Yes.
A lot of my victories have come from something I had to fight through. But sometimes things will come upon you and things will fall in your lap because you're in the right place at the right time, and you're in position and you're ready.
Ooh, yes.
See, when you're not ready, it's not going to happen.
Yes.
If you fire off too soon, it's not going to happen. It's not going to last. But when you've been preparing for such a time as this, and when you're in position and you're ready, things happen. They just happen. So fast forward, what I was working on in terms of my business model, Donna Dean Coaching and Consulting Services, helping people and companies rise to thrive through coaching and training, wanting to impact employment, millions of people out of work. I knew that it was a time for me, it was such a time as this, for me to do something about it. It was such a time as this for me to do something about mental health crisis in America, especially in our Black community. Enough's enough. This isn't the work of just psychiatrists and psychologists. Let me give you a couple of examples of how other people that have superpowers can make a difference. Look at the work Jada Pinkett has done in the entertainment industry. Because she's an influencer, because she compels people to her brand, she's caused attention to mental health, and she's breaking down walls and inviting people at the table in the entertainment industry to just have conversation about their issues. And she is a beacon of light that has ignited a movement in the entertainment industry that's causing people in the entertainment industry to break down their walls and be real with it. Well, the same thing needs to happen in corporate America. The same thing needs to happen in the business community. The same thing needs to happen in the workplace. The same thing needs to happen in our Black community.
Say it. Say it.
So you look at Taraji Henson. Don't have to be a therapist. You don't have to be a PhD. You just have to be someone with passion who compels people to ignite a movement. And so what happened with Quentin Anderson and I is we were on a parallel timeline. We had the same vision. And all of a sudden, it became very apparent to us that we are better together. We are stronger when we unify as one. When we synchronize our superpowers, we can transform more lives. Because see, we're not about transaction. We're not about just saying to our corporate partners, hey, yeah, give us that $500,000 so that we can check your box and say that we have done something to advance Black people in corporate America at every position, especially C-suite and managerial, because we represent less than 4%. Not acceptable anymore. So no, we're saying to our corporate partners, we're not about a transaction, we're about transformation. And we're only entering in these partnerships, not just because we want your money, but because we are going to unify with you. That's the lens. See, we got to do this together. I'm all about more power to my Black people. Yes, absolutely. But I'm tired of being the only Black woman in corporate America, one of two globally, representing C-suite to a managerial level. No, that's no longer acceptable. So Quentin and I joined forces. I relocated my assets, Donna Dean Coaching and Consulting Services, on the most valuable piece of virtual real estate on the planet, and that's called blackowned.com. I relocated. I synchronized my superpowers. It's like the Transformer movie. You know, when all the pieces come together and that Transformer gets gigantic and it could just take out. I'm going to hit the pause button because I can see Tandra has some questions.
Well, listen, y'all, you know what? I always say she defined we are better together. She defined the good Jews of working together for the same cause to make a movement. Listen, it's time for us to move. It's time for us to move and make something happen. We can no longer be sitting in our spots thinking about this competitive stuff. It's time for us to become collaborators. You know what I'm saying? I say it all the time. It's not about competition. It's time for us to become collaborators and to connect and to unite and to use our superpowers. Do you know the girl? I can't even say it.
You can say it. I feel it.
I can't even say it because you know what? This superpower that we have, the power. Listen, audience, We have power and we have to come together. You know, what is that? Lightning Jack Flash or whatever, when he, the movie, when he come together and they use that power, how he was able to change the community that he was in. He was able to transform people's lives. Guess what? And just like Donna said, it ain't about the money. The money gonna come, y'all. If we do the right thing, the money's gonna come. If our passion and our heart is in the right spot, that money's gonna come. But we got to get there first. We got to get the right people together. We got to get the ones who are ready to say, listen, I'm in, I'm all in. How can I make a change? How can I make a difference? And that's what this is about. I mean, you dropping, I can't even come up with words, and people know that look, I'm never short for words. I have something to say. But how this is, you're educating us. You're dropping nuggets. You're giving us this. You know what? I'm so glad this is Talk to Me Tuesday. Because if you don't get nothing else, please get and understand what she's saying. It's time to come together. It's time to break down the barriers. It's time to stop thinking just about me. Because guess what? I always say to people, you know what? You can have the best product and service on the market, but if you don't know who you're talking to, guess what? It's just going to sit on the shelf. If you don't know, if you don't have the right partners or the right people to get your vision where you want it to go, guess what? You're just talking to yourself. And this is a time for us to come together as a unit, to unify ourselves. And I got to leave it right there because, I mean, my notepad is full. Every time you say something, I'm dropping it. We got to come together. And we have to stop it. We just have to stop it and understand that, you know what, there's so much more at stake here right now. And if we don't come together and understand what the stake is, we are going to miss it. We are not going to be the servant leaders that God puts us out here to be, to serve. I'm done, Donna. That's all I want to say.
Teach it. Teach it.
We gotta be there, and it's sad. Like you said, it's sad, especially for us, especially African Americans, because we are so thinking that people is trying to get over on us, but that people, you know, trying to outdo us and things of that nature in our business. Listen, entrepreneurship is lonely out there. Don't be by yourself. You don't have any reason to be. There's no reason. There's too many visionaries out here that you can partner up with and still get your message out. Donna is actually putting it out on the line for you right now. She took her assets and moved it in. Guess what? She didn't lose nothing. She gained. Just go right ahead on, Donna. Just
you exactly no, you teach it because I got my notebook now right now. Every time Tanya talks, I hope you guys are taking notes. On May 25th, and the first thing that Sir Quentin shared with me, and I have to tell you the reason why I call him Sir Quentin, he don't like it too much, but I had to tell him why. The actress in me, the storyteller in me, the entertainer in me, even in the business world, because see, that's part of who I really am, my authentic self. When I get to know people, they become characters in my story. And those of you that have seen the movie X-Men, you know the character Xavier. Now, he was in the wheelchair with Quentin. So Xavier, his superpower was he assembled the superheroes who the world saw as, now they're throwaways. Even though they had superpowers, the world and the leaders of the world didn't see them out of the lens of their superpowers. They saw them out of the lens of how different they were. And one of Quentin's brilliant superpowers is assembling brilliant strategists, brilliant world changers and history makers. So he's Xavier, who was the lead of the superheroes in my head, because that's part of his superpower. So he shared his story with me when we initially connected. He shared his story with me. And he shared with me that on May 25th, which is today, by the way, was his birthday, May 25th, 2020. And he shared with me that 20 years ago, he had purchased a domain called blackowned.com. And he had a vision 20 years ago to create something special for the Black community. All are welcome, but this was something special for the Black community. And he nurtured that vision for years, but see, it wasn't time. But on May 25th of 2020, he witnessed the tragic murder of George Floyd. Yeah, that was on his birthday. And it was on that day that something was ignited on the inside of him, and it moved him to action. And it was the kind of action that was undeniable. It was the kind of action that nothing was going to get in his way. It was the kind of action that said, this is not by accident, but this happened on my birthday. And now is the time for me to ignite this movement and act. So here we are a year later. For such a time as this, God put him in position, anointed and appointed him for such a time as this, to take this vision and breathe life into it and ignite a movement. So that was the story. He said, Donna, I'm building our very own Wakanda, the most valuable piece of virtual real estate on the planet that we can call as ours. All are welcome. Everybody's welcome. But we're going to build this thing. So here you have a very successful real estate broker, very successful, most successful Black-owned real estate business in San Diego, California. You have a real estate broker in the natural who now is being pivoted to create a virtual piece of real estate. So now he's a developer of a virtual piece of real estate, our very own Wakanda. The framework is being built upon us assembling some brilliant strategists to move the needle in a mighty way in terms of unemployment. So we're going to go after employment. We're going to get our people back to work.
Yeah.
Employment is the first pillar. Education is the second pillar. Micro learning is $1 trillion business. So we're going after educating and preparing our people to career transition, because they've been unemployed for a year. I don't know if anybody realizes this, but we got still people unemployed and don't have jobs to go back to in the millions.
Yes.
4% of us are represented across the globe in C-suite down to managerial positions, no longer acceptable. We're going after education, employment. We're also going after the economics. We are going to make a measurable difference in that economics. And then the fourth is entertainment, because after we do all this work, we're going to have some fun.
That's right.
So after he shared this vision with me, something pulled at my heartstring, and all of a sudden I saw myself in costume. I was in Wakanda. I had the costume on. I had the queen hat on. I was building. Rest is history. I accepted the role of president of the company. And what we've accomplished in the last few weeks is mind-blowing.
Woo-woo. Woo-woo, woo-woo.
So get ready, everyone, because when we launch, it's going to be full court press. It's going to be a full court press. And this is not about us. This is not about shining the light on us and patting ourselves on the back. This is about us transforming this world and measurably making a difference.
Yeah.
Blackowned.com.
You know what? Wakanda forever. Oh, Wakanda forever. Wakanda forever.
Our very own.
Yes.
Our very own.
I told y'all she was going to bring the juice. I told y'all she was gonna bring the juice. Did let me you know what? He had a vision that was 20 years ago. Let me tell y'all, he planted that seed, got him some good fertilization, and he just kept watering it, watering it, watering it, nurturing it, taking care of it. And when the moment was right, mm, 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 it's all kind of flowers. It's all kind of, you know, like jewels jumping out of that foundation. Because you know what? It took a vision that he implanted. He didn't stop. He kept growing it. He kept nurturing it. He kept tending to it. And now look where it is. And guess what? Y'all saying, guess what? It didn't work for me. Mm. That's what y'all saying. Right now, y'all saying y'all stuff didn't even work. It don't work. Mm-mm. Oh, that's what they all say. But this is a living proof that it works. It's a living proof that guess what? Our vision and our dreams can come to pass.
Teach.
If we just do the right things, y'all, if we plant those seeds and we just keep watering and nurturing, and somebody's gonna come by and say, "Oh, that's a pretty garden." Woo! Oh, somebody gonna say that's a pretty garden. What did you use? How did you make it look so pretty and bright? Look, can I get some? Ain't that what Donna said? Can I get some? Can I? Listen, I'm all in. Listen, I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use this over here in my yard. But y'all, it takes consistency. It takes, not giving up. It takes, showing up no matter what. I mean, listen, the blessings are in the show up. You got to keep showing up. You got to keep visiting it. You know, and you got to get yourself around people who has the same vision and goal, the same passion, the same desire. Y'all, I mean, this Miss Miss Donna laid it out. Miss Donna Dean laid it out. There's no more excuses. There's no more room for excuses. You know what? Right now, you should stop saying that can't happen to me. We have to stop it. And it takes leaders like us to be 100, to have that true conversation and say, stop it. Stop it. I mean, this could be you. This could listen, there's billions of people in the world that is walking by your garden. Mm. They walking by your garden, y'all. They walking. Now, either it's gonna be bright and pretty, or it's gonna be wilted over. Which one you want? It took 20 years, and look what's getting to happen. It is gonna blossom. He was in the look. He had the right people. He planted it in the right spot. He got the right people. He got the right connections, and he had the right vision. You can't ask for no better than that. I don't know.
And Tanya, Tandra, you are teaching. You are talk about nuggets of wisdom. It's time to stop. We've been as a people, as a nation, we've been in a perpetual state of trauma. Even when we didn't know we were traumatized, we were traumatized. Mm-hmm. We just learned how to function in an atmosphere of trauma. And trauma immobilizes us.
It does.
Trauma keeps us at the base of the mountain. We're looking up, figuring out how we're going to climb up out of that black hole to get to the top. We're in trauma. We're trying to figure out how to climb. And it takes people like us for such a time as this.
Yes.
To be the light, to look down on the mountain and say, I acknowledge your perpetual trauma. Mm-hmm. I acknowledge how all of this is affecting you. I acknowledge that you feel misused and misrepresented and looked over and all of these things. I acknowledge it. But I'm here to tell you, if I made it up, so can you. Now, come on, let's climb.
Let's climb.
Let's climb.
Climb it up there. We got to get up there because guess what? Listen, it's so much more at the top than it is at the bottom. You know what? Oh, this has been juice. This has been juice, y'all. I told y'all to have your pen and paper ready because this is. Thank you. All I can say is just thank you, because you know what? It says, "Oh my God, this is awesome! This is so awesome! You all have motivated me to get up and move today. I just couldn't sit here and watch the computer. I had to get up out of my chair as I listened to all of these nuggets of knowledge and move a few things around so I could see things and be more productive. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Tandra and Miss Donna and Miss Lotus Richey for inspiring me." Woo!
And you know, if I can say, Tandra, I thank you for that. Beautiful. I'm assuming it's a queen, but if you're a king or queen, you're royalty. Thank you for that. I want all of you to acknowledge that you have either one or two places in life. Either you're that person at the base of the mountain trying to figure out how to climb up, or you're the person at the top of the mountain that's appointed for such a time as this to help other people up the mountain. See, there's no other way of getting around it. Either you're that there, but see, when we come together, we can climb together. Let me say that again. When we come together, we can climb together. See, no one person should be left behind. That's the lens we've been operating out of as a people for hundreds of years. We get ours, we get up, we get to corporate America, we get our six figures, we move into the white neighborhoods, whatever your story is. You made it. That's great. But until you help somebody else make it, you don't have a legacy.
Woo! Oh. Say it one more time. Just say that piece until you help. Say it again. Say it again.
Until you, I'm speaking to everybody that's listening, and share this with somebody, until you help somebody else up the mountain, you have no legacy.
You have no legacy, y'all.
No legacy.
None.
No long-lasting, standing the test of time brand. And I'm talking to companies too. I'm talking to companies leaders. I'm talking to CEOs of companies. You have no long-lasting that will stand the test of time post-COVID, post-social unrest, post all the polarity politically, everything we are still climbing out of in 2020. Your brand will not be omnipresent and will not stand the test of time until you get that. It's no longer about you.
It's not about you. You got to help somebody else. You have to. You have to. I mean,
that's what blackowned.com is all about. That's the foundation that's being laid on this virtual piece of real estate. Not all about us being shiny and celebrities and, you know, patting ourselves on the back and making ourselves look good. It's about helping millions of people up the mountain, because that's what we are here to do.
That's we have to serve, y'all. We have to do it. In all the rest, I can't say it enough. All the rest will come. And you know what, Donna? I know everybody gets so inundated because it's like you haven't heard my story. You don't know what I'm going through. But at the end of the day, y'all, if we're not helping nobody else, if we're not passing the baton, if we're not throwing down the rope to get somebody up, give them a rescue to say, hey, guess what? I'm with you. I see you down there. I'm going to help you. Trust me. Trust the process.
Teach that. Life, in part, is about test, trials, and tribulations. We are not guaranteed this life on earth without it. I don't care who you are, how much money you're making, what stature you are. You're going to have, and you have had test trials and tribulations. Don't underestimate the power of those battles. Don't underestimate the power of that test, of that trial. And as Tandra just said, it's a process. So you got to go through it to get to it. You can't skip it.
You can't skip it.
So go through the test, go through the challenge. Climb one step at a time and fall and bump your knees, because understand that that's building something on the inside of you that you need to strengthen those muscles so that you can help somebody else. And without that process, you can't get to it.
You can't get to it, child. You just can't. Oh, you just can't. Oh, it looks like, look, we got Africa, Australia, Japan joining us, the Philippines. Oh my Lord. You know what? This is what we needed. You know what I'm saying? Listen, we're in the second quarter of the second month. And these are the conversations. I love these conversations because this is what we need. We need to get the true TTT.
And Tandra, I have to say one more thing before we hang up. I have to give it up for my great visionary and CEO, Quentin Anderson, I look at him as the new Black power. And those of you that are non-Black, you're in it too. Because see, we're joining forces with everybody to change the world. We can no longer say white people over here and Black people over there, and you did it to me. And yeah, that's perpetual trauma. It's a reality. It's true. But we got to step beyond being in perpetual trauma and pointing fingers. Not that we're negating the truth, but it's now time for us to transform and heal and make a significant difference. Otherwise, we're going to still be here on the picket line, the protest line 95 years from now saying the same thing.
Oh, that's them bench warmers. That's them bench warmers. Look, I always say, you have a person on the bench just sitting by, just, talking about everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that they could be doing something. And guess what? They seeing people fly by. Everybody's moving. Everybody's taking their shot. Everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. And then you wonder why you didn't get to take your shot. Because guess what? You still sitting on that bench.
Martin Luther King Jr., and I know we got to go. Martin Luther King Jr., this is what he stood for. He said, until we come together, Black, white, Asian, every other color, or whatever color you are, whatever social, until we all come together as one, we're going to perish as a nation. That's what Martin Luther King stood for. He stood for unity. He stood for bringing all people together for a common goal. And we started this conversation with, my passion is to see my Black women at the helm. My passion is to see advancement at the helm of our Black people. Those are my targets, but how am I going to get there?
How am I going to get there, y'all?
I can't be led just by my passion. I got to be led also by that other side of my brain. How am I going to get there? I can't train up women that look like me, drop them into corporate America, get them prepared for a C-suite position, and the corporate atmosphere ain't ready for them.
Ain't ready.
Because guess what? Those are the jobs they're going to be taking. So doesn't it behoove us to also transform and help our corporate entities, our partners, to reimagine their cultures? Otherwise, we're going to be talking about the same thing on the protest line in 100 years.
100 years, right?
The world has to be transformed, and everybody in it.
It does. Ooh, Pamela says, speaking to my spirit, I am trying to help someone and hope someone will help me to make my vision a reality. I want to help high school students who need to prepare for college. Each one teach one. Donna, you and Tandra are amazing. Thank you. Oh, girl, we just got them pouring in. I love these conversations as well. Thank you, Tandra, for providing a platform and service. Oh, girl, wait a minute. And thank you immensely, Donna, for providing these pearls of wisdom. Your words are motivation for moving the movement. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, if y'all ain't caught none of these nuggets, none of this juice, oh, I mean, I don't know what to say. But my question is, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? How are you going to move today to help someone else? How are you going to partner up today? Make a plan. Come on, write it out. Make a plan. I'm always saying, go with the 3 rules. But guess what? You have to start somewhere. You have, y'all, I'm telling y'all, my brain is about to drop on the computer thing because she laid it out. I couldn't have said it no better. And I'm glad Miss Donna said it because now you can hear from someone else. And I think you think I'm just always talking and talking and talking, but guess what? That stuff is real stuff. And I'm glad that we have amazing and phenomenal leaders like Donna Dean, who can see it. Listen, this wasn't rehearsed. Guess what? I told her when we came on here, listen, I just go by the fly.
I love it.
I just go by the fly.
Organic, real talk.
Because these are the conversations that with me, these are the conversations that that guess what? Some leaders are afraid to have with their clients. Let me say that again. Some leaders are afraid to have these conversations with their clients in fear that their clients will run away. But we're not doing our job, just like Donna said. We are not doing justice to those people if we don't come 100. We're not doing justice as leaders because she said we had to prepare them.
And come collaboratively. Just super quick, Tandra, I had a colleague reach out to me, from my corporate America days, white gentleman who said, Donna, congratulations. I love that you are taking on this role, but why so racist? That was the perception. I don't understand. Why is everybody pointing that finger at me? I didn't do anything. Perpetual trauma. So oftentimes, and this is a leader in corporate America, they're stuck in their own perpetual trauma. Either they don't know what to do, they don't know how to do it. They're on attack mode, they're on defense mode. And when you're defending yourself, you're not productive. You're not impactful. You're not transformative as a leader when you're busy defending yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to come to the table as a nation. See, under God's eyes, I'm going to just bring a spiritual element in there. See, God didn't create us and look and say, I want the white ones over, black ones over, Asian. No. He didn't give hierarchy to our color, to our socioeconomic, to our judgments, to any of that. He said, I created all of you as my divine creation. And Martin Luther King said, until all of you all come together and figure out how to work together, how to collaborate together, this nation will perish. So I could have gotten real defensive and said, how dare you? We haven't had our own in years or forever. What do you mean? How racist, just because it's called blackowned.com. And I tell you honestly, I had some emotional reactions. She walked in imagine. Why should I have to tell you? Pardon me, I get a little.
Go ahead on.
But I had to step out of my emotions. I had to step out of my passion because that's not going to get me to the finish line. That'll ignite me. That'll get the vehicle going. So I took a deep breath. I pulled out of the emotional space. And I said, okay, I'm going to bring him to the collaborative table and have some conversation because this is a moment of wisdom.
Yeah.
To impart wisdom. Not just education, because education without wisdom, there's no light. I can learn something but not know something. And I can know something and not use it to impact the world. We need more than allies. I'm tired of hearing that word. No, we don't need allies. We need people coming together with one vision, under one nation, under God.
Drop it.
I need more than an ally. I need him to see what I see. I need him to understand why I see it so that he's compelled to join the movement.
Join it.
That's what I'm here for. Not just to collect allies who will not have any long-standing impact to this world and to their work environments, and I'm training up my people for the same thing over and over again, and that's no representation and no voice at the table. So we had a conversation. That conversation led to wisdom. He saw the light, and he's joining the movement.
Yes. Yes, that's what I'm talking about right there. Yes. Woo, woo. Woo, 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 woo. I'm telling you.
So you said, what are we going to do?
What are we going to do? I know what y'all need to do right now is go to blackowned.com.
Go to blackowned.com, see what we're about. You can see the 4 pillars. We're building our very own Wakanda, the most valuable piece of virtual real estate on the planet.
Yes. Yes.
Join the movement. Stay tuned, because we're going to be unveiling some really transformative, impactful things.
Look, I'm all in. I'm all in. Put me down for whatever. I'm all in. I'm all in. Because I'm all in. Listen, I appreciate you, Miss Donna Dean. Listen, we can keep going on and on and on. And in my spirit, you know what, we're gonna do a session.
We're gonna do something together. I feel it too.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Because we're definitely right there. And you know, I thank you. I thank you because you have blessed all of the audience and the participants that have been on here. You have dropped so many nuggets. Thank you for being our teacher today. Because I mean, listen, we couldn't ask for no better teacher. You know what I'm saying? Because this has been really good. So I want to know, like, okay, before we end, what do you have going on? I know I want everybody to go, and I think I put it in here, blackowned.com. I want you guys to go there, check it out, sign up, whatever you got to do. Be a part of the movement. I want to know, like, can they find you some other places? Please go to LinkedIn, connect with this amazing, phenomenal woman. What else you got going on that, that we can all chime into, that the audience here can chime into? Oh, my girl, my Facebook is blowing up. Yes. Hey!
You are one delightful, powerful, imaginative woman, and I am honored to be in your circle of influence. I just have to give it up to the queen of all queens.
Thank you. Listen, you know what? I want to give it back to you, though. I'm so glad that you tuned in. Listen, when I started Talk to Me Tuesday, I didn't know where we were going with it, but I knew that a part of my goal, my mission was, you know what? I was tired of seeing, so many amazing entrepreneurs sitting on the line, sitting on the bench, not having the tools and resources that they needed to move forward. So I wanted people to join in on my movement and say, hey, come on in. You know what I'm saying? Get these golden nuggets. Listen, if you guys, all this information that she did, you know what, you would have had to pay thousands of dollars to hear this information. Guess what? We brought it to you for free. You know what I'm saying? So, my goal is that you take these information, all the golden nuggets, every time I come on Talk to Me Tuesday, and use these, implement it. I mean, look, we're already changing lives right now. Look at the people that's seeing what they're doing, how they got up out of their seat. You know what? Somebody needed that inspiration today. Somebody needed that push, that little, let me get off my butt today. And that's what this is about. So when I started in and you tuned in, I was like, listen, immediately when we met, I loved your spirit. I loved your energy. And I said, you know what? This is somebody I want to stay connected with. This is somebody I want to be, whatever I can do to help. And that was my question. How can I help you? Listen, it wasn't me trying to sell her on nothing that I had. I said, how can I help you? How can I help be a part of what you're doing? And you know what? We always leave that question out, because what we always start with is that, can you buy lipstick? Can you do this, that? You didn't, what value did you bring? You know what I'm saying? To make the connection still keep going. Here's what happened is when you connect with somebody, the conversation doesn't end. Your conversation should not be ending. Guess what? Your conversation should have be another conversation, another She laid it out to you. It was compelled to her. Guess what? Then where it took it off the line, guess what? It was another conversation, and another conversation. and that's what we're not doing. We're just like, okay, listen, they didn't want to do my business. Just because people don't want to do business with you right now, don't mean that, you know what, they won't do business with you later if you come correct. So when I started this and she joined in, and I have to give it to Daryl Perry too, because
I was going to say
he's another one of our influencers, and he is amazing. All of those, you need to go out and connect with him as well. But he has connected me with some phenomenal women. Listen, some phenomenal women. He's like, listen, if I can help you, Tandra, I'm gonna help you. I mean, and I've got things going with these amazing ladies. So I'm telling you, is it the power in networking? Yes. You make those connections and everything just goes. So that's kind of how it all got started. You know what I'm saying? And this is kind of my vision. So I'm glad that you tuned in. Listen, it was just little old me. Guess what? Now I'm making a movement and a stride, and I'm making things happen for people. We're putting all kind of press, and I want to take this globally. Because I want to be able to throw that, just like you said, pass the baton, throw the rope, help you climb up to the top to see the top of the mountain. That's where we got to go. And it's going to take a village of us. It's going to take unity. It's going to take, it's going to take us all working together. I just want to let me see what she said. Donna, a connection request has started following her. Thank you. Yes, I'm telling you, if you don't follow this lady, I don't know what to say to you. Feeling blessed, I will be checking out this. Yes, can say yes.
And Tandra, I was going to say, definitely on blackowned.com, we have an area where you can, we say, hey, if you want to be part of the movement, fill out this real super quick form. Let us know how you would like to get involved, or just start the conversation with us. We've got, just look at our leadership page so that you can see the brilliant strategists that we have on our leadership team. Jay Jones, Emmy Award winning executive producer, has produced every primetime show you can possibly imagine, based out of New York. We've got Dr. Teresa Horn, PhD, who's going to lead up our Black-owned Educational Learning Center and our Upward Institute. We've got none other than the notorious Ray Leonard Jr. He needs no introduction. His dad was Sugar Ray Leonard, but he is a brilliant businessman. He's on board as our chief brand strategist. We've got Demetrius Brown. You look up these people on LinkedIn from he just came on board as our chief technology officer. Wow. And we've got Marshall Falk, ex-NFL Hall of Famer, as our financial strategist. Reggie Walker, our mental health strategist. I mean, I could go on and on. I mean, we've got brilliant, superpower brilliance at the helm. And so we're building a phenomenal team. So go to blackowned.com, reach out to me, private message me. Hey, I do respond, and I have a response time. I don't care how many followers you have. You get to 50, 60,000 followers. It means nothing if you're not offering customer service.
If you ain't, and listen, if you're not going through the follow through process, and I talk about that a lot.
If you get too big, hire somebody to do it for you.
Yes, and listen. Every time I've reached out to Mrs. Dean, listen, she's responded to me. I thank you for that, because that's a true listen. It's like you hear our voices. Even if I'm just saying, hey, how you doing? I just wanted to say, hope you're having a wonderful day. Listen, a thumbs up or something.
That's one of your superpowers. Your service level. If you're not servicing the people that are influenced by you, that's your core. That's your foundation.
That's your foundation.
That's your brand.
That's your brand. Thank you. Listen, I want to thank you again so much. I just want to listen. We have our thing every Thursday, Conversations Over Coffee. We do it every Thursday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. We're going to have a special guest. So if those who are watching join us, go to our page, like our page. I want everyone who's watching. There's a lot of people watching us. Go to blackowned.com. Listen, be all in. Be all in. It's time. It's time. Okay. I also want to throw a shout out. I'm super excited about my magazine. We got the August edition coming up. So we're looking for 15 amazing ladies, that we can roll out the red carpet, promote you, get you out there, and make that connection. You know what I'm saying? It's all about passing the baton and helping the other person win. I'm gonna leave us with our video. I'm super excited about our video. Miss Lotus Richey, she's been working at the hem of putting all these amazing things together for us to make sure that our message is being out there and is being very visible. I'm definitely going to have you, Miss Dean, connect with her. She's phenomenal. She's doing some amazing things in her industry of visibility. I love you so much. I'm so excited. I can't wait for us to partner up and do some amazing things. Thank you for pouring into us today. You have any other final last words to say to us?
I want to inspire, use the word inspiration. I want to fuel each and every one of you that are listening that nothing's too big for you. Nothing is too great. Just take a step of faith. Quentin will tell you that he ran into all sorts of distractions. People talking about him, didn't believe in his dream, and so on and so forth. Celebrate and embrace those challenges because they're just going to make you stronger. So don't underestimate the power of the battle, because it's those battles that are going to lead you to your victory. Yeah. So just stay the course.
Just stay the course. Look, I'm gonna have to get you and Quentin on together. Look, and then you know what? We're gonna get some of these people from DC, the Philippines and Nigeria and all to come together and hear this. Because guess what? This thing, the movement ain't just here, it's globally. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. I'm gonna end out with our video. So listen, till next time, tune in to Talk to Me Tuesday.
The moment you've all been waiting for has finally arrived. Tap In is here, and it's time to grab your copy, featuring powerfully amazing women to follow in 2021 and beyond. It's your time to elevate, recreate, and celebrate your brilliance. This is the global magazine for you to get tapped into and experience powerful stories about finance, health, wellness, business, global networking, bossing on social media, tragedies, triumphs, and much, much more. It's your time to open the door to your future and get tapped in with women all around the globe who are ready to network and let you do your work to bring your business up to the next level. So come on in and get your tap in today. It's your time to shine and share your story with the world and encourage every woman, man, boy, and girl to get tapped in to tap in. Be featured now.